Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Home Care and Assisted Living Business Series podcast. I'm your host and creator, Alan Cheney, and today I'm gonna talk about home care profits and break down a couple different clients from a very conservative perspective. So these are like low numbers, so they're easier to lock in rates at this level. So I want to go in the most conservative route. So you guys can kind of see like what the potential is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to break down three different client types, and these are like actual clients that are pretty easy to get when you're first starting out with your home care business. It shouldn't be hard to get three clients, and at the end of this breakdown, I'm going to kind of show you like what my team is geared towards on a monthly basis and how we use this particular breakdown to kind of set goals and um, expectations for the month in our office. So um, I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. On my podcast, I get straight to it. So the first client number one, is what is going to be the breakdown is a part-time client, 20 hours a week, at $18 an hour. This is this is a fairly um, regular client that you can run across them and doing your marketing, whether you're doing getting referrals. You can easily get this referral uh, through your marketing with whatever you're doing out in the community. You're going to run across these type of clients pretty often. People who only want, um, you know, 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 hours a day, 4 to 5 days a week. And that's what we consider like a part-time client, and it's a part-time shift, 20 hours a week. And we usually charge the highest rate for part time, but because I want to do this breakdown conservatively, and so you can kind of see the even at the lowest price points, there's still room for profit and profit in your business with these particular clients. So we did the rate at $18 an hour for this breakdown, and that's like I said, that's pretty conservative for a 20-hour case. When you we basically do our pricing based on the client needs and the amount of hours that they're going to get. So again, this is a fairly conservative one. We're usually charging 20 and up for a part-time case, but for this breakdown, to keep it conservative, we're doing 18 hours, $18 an hour. So the total weekly gross, this is going to come into your office at $18 an hour, 20 dollars 20 hours a week is 360. Total monthly is 1440. Caregivers weekly rate will be between 11 and 1150. Um, Again, this is conservative. You might want to pay the caregiver a little more depending on the client's needs and stuff like that. You could do different bonuses as well as far as mileage, um, gas cards, stuff like that, depending on the vicinity that the caregiver lives with to the client and how what her travel expenses are going to be. But and this might and also this is at 11, this is usually just a companion care or a very low skilled client that doesn't need much help. It's just probably basic ADLs and meal prep and light housekeeping. So we can go from 11 to 1150 an hour, and so your weekly rate to this caregiver for this $20 20-hour shift every week would be 220. The caregiver's monthly pay rate would be 880, and with that rate and those numbers for you, your monthly net profit to your agency is 560, and that's with one client and caregivers getting paid, and that's the profit around the profit that you should be making off that one particular client on a monthly basis. And again, that's just one private 20. That's one private part-time client at a very low rate, and there's always room to itch those numbers up. You know, based on need and the fact that they're not getting many hours. The more hours they get, the lower the rate can get, and the less hours they get, obviously goes up. So client number two, um, 40 hours a week at $17 an hour. And again, we're just using these numbers. It's even lower than the uh, part-time, but I just want you guys to still see that there's money, there's profit, there's opportunity still in these lower numbers when you get these specific cases and these specific clients. And then it's a lot of people who don't really understand how the numbers break down when they first get started. So hopefully this information will be helpful for you guys. Um, a 40-hour client, obviously that's a full-time shift. Um, at $17 an hour, the total weekly gross would be the invoice that you should be getting back should be $680. Monthly, $2,720, $2,720 a month. The caregiver pay rate, if you're keeping it at 11, 1150, it should be 450, 460, something like that. Caregiver, what the caregiver is getting on a monthly rate basis is 1760. That will be her monthly payout for that particular case. Working at those hours for that type of client. And the net payout, the monthly net payout to the agency, which is you, is so 960. So you're making almost $1,000 off a full-time client every month. Part-time client, you see that you saw that you're like at five to 600 a month. Part-time client, five to 600 a month. Full-time client, between $800 to $1,000 a month. And then obviously there's different variations. Families don't just stick to these basic. We try to get them to like these basic numbers, but sometimes they have different. So it could be 20, any number between 20 and whatever hourly, 160 hours, the total hours in a week, so they can get whatever. But just to break it down and make it like the numbers real simple for you, we're just using these these basic numbers and these simple round numbers. So when we're looking at a client number 3, so that was client number 2, was the full-time 40 hours a week at $17 an hour. We'll be charging the client, and the weekly the hourly rate to the caregiver was 11 for that particular client number 2 at a full-time. The third client for this case study is the living client. And how do we do those? Living clients are a little different, and the contract is a little different. So you have to let when you sign up living clients, what can be confusing? Clients sometimes think that they're paying for 24-hour care when they're getting a live-in. So they expect the caregiver who lives there to be available 24 hours, and that's definitely not the case. Your caregiver, we have a caregiver contract, and in our contract, we have a living contract, and in our contract, our caregiver is not working more than 13 hours a day. They're getting 8 hours of uninterrupted sleep. No, 6 hours of uninterrupted sleep, 8 hours of sleep, and an hour. I think we have it in there for 2 hours of personal time. So she's only available for 13 hours a day, and the client can, the family and the caregiver can kind of work it out, like what best fits the family's needs. But on a, on a contract, there's only so many hours that she could work. So she's not there. She's not a 24-hour. She's not a 24-hour caregiver. You're not paying for 24-hour service when you get a living client. And a lot of new agencies don't understand that. Private caregivers don't understand that when they go out and get these private clients on their own. They don't understand that, and they end up working themselves to death because they think that because I'm here, I have to be working at all times. You don't have to. Make sure you got a good contract, and so this is a very low number as well for a living client, and we put it at 180 here for this case study, for this breakdown. And we'll be charging the client 180 at this breakdown. Total monthly profit, total monthly gross is for every 28 days. So we charge them because it's 7 days a week. So we don't do it for 30 days or 31 days based on the month. We do it 7 days. So it's like 28 days, 4 times 7. So that's what we're charging them for. actual 28 days, so not like 31 and all that stuff for the month, because it'll get tricky if you do it, because different months have different days, amounts of time, like have different days in them, different amount of days in them. So you just stick to the 28 days. So you making sure you're getting your 4 weeks, um, this like very clear in the contract and on the invoices. So we charge f- the total monthly gross for that would be at 180 would be $5,040 for every 28 days. We give the caregiver 110 a day, which is 3,080 a month. And the monthly net profit to us, to the agency, with this one living client is $1,960. So, as you can see, you can make a lot of money doing live-in clients. We really like live-in clients, and it's also a big benefit for you to think about it this way, because it's less liability, because you have less people going through the house. So if they had 24-hour care, you'll be making a lot more money if they were doing 24-hour care. And I didn't even want to do that case study, because it's like, so it's just not is you don't we don't get 24-hour cases, even though we do have a few of those cases where we do have they need 24-hour awake overnight staff 24 hours a day. And that's a whole different breakdown. Maybe I'll do it another time. But if I can do it and the family can accept it and find space and cater to the caregiver's need for a live-in, then I prefer to do a live-in, because for one, you won't break the family's budget. Like the 24-hour case and a live-in is two different things. If they're paying you $18 an hour or $20 an hour, even at 15 or $16 an hour, they're going to still be paying way more than the living rate. So if you want a client to last and to have a caregiver have a job for a while, when you want to keep getting money, you don't want to just try to get every single cent out of a family. You want to leave them with some money so they can keep getting services, and so we can keep taking care of their loved one. So with that, there is a great opportunity for profit there. Um, and we pay the caregivers on a salary. We put them on a salary instead of like an hourly rate. So we give them a salary of 3,080 a month. So they're coming in on a salary and not as a hourly employee. So um, total monthly net income for all three of these clients. So if you did this and you set your office up to focus on, like, this is what we want to do, and this is what I'm going to get into in a second. If you could just do this, if you don't have any clients and you just tuning in, or you just figuring out, like, okay, you just getting a couple clients, like, focus on getting your first three clients. Focus on getting a part-time client, a full-time client, and a live-in. Like, let that be your focus. Let that be your drive. Let that be your main attention and your main motivations when you're going out into the community to recruit new clients. Um, it gives you more direction. It gives you more focus, and it's more of a clear goal than just being willy nilly. Like, oh, I'm just get as many clients I can get. It doesn't work like that. Like, position yourself to set goals. If you're working with other people in your office or on your team, or you have a partner, y'all you separate. Y'all break these goals down and then start going after these goals. What we call this the magic three. And I want my office to be getting these, getting the, I want one part-time client, one full-time client, and one live-in client a month. That's the goal. That's the expectation. And when those goals are met, bonuses and incentives are given out. And if those goals are exceeded, bonuses are and incentives are given out even more. And if they're not met, we have an issue, we have a problem. We need to go back to the drawing board. Like, why aren't we getting our magic three this month? And and that's something that we just do. And feel free to use that as a breakdown for your company, and just kind of so you can kind of think about how the money looks and how do you make money really in home care and how to do it. And obviously in different marketplaces, you're going to do different numbers. You could charge more. The caregivers are going to pay. You're going to have to pay the caregivers more. But there's all kind of different ways and different variations of getting to these profits and to these numbers. And I just wanted to give you guys a simple breakdown and something that you guys can at least see, have something to look forward to. And there's also going to be uh, um, this same breakdown that I just covered is going to be in the description of the podcast, so you can click it and kind of read it and kind of see the visuals, and then you can just play with the numbers as you feel as you feel, and also feel free to use this or some other variation in your organization. You know what I mean, to get your stuff going or to grow what you already have already created. Um, so people say, okay, since home care is so great, why are you even worried about assisted living? So the beauty of home care and the advantage of home care is the ability to scale. You can scale, um, where in assisted living you can't. It's only like, I mean, you have to get a whole new property to get more residents, but the downside of home care is that there's a higher turnover. So these clients that you might have this living client for 4, 5, 6 months, and it's over with. Whether the family goes with another company, the client passes, um, or the family just doesn't need the services anymore. Whatever the case may be, the turnover rate is higher. They leave sooner and more often. Um, a part-time client could definitely leave because a family member like, hey, say, look, hey, you pay me that. We see that all the time. Like a family member who did never want to help, but now that they see that the family's paying out, they're willing to do it. So that might can happen. Just different things. Just different things happen. Other agencies come in with different offers. And obviously, um, patients pass away. So, um, because there's all these different threats to your business on a daily basis in home care, you can scale. You can get more and as many as you want as you can get, in your market, but there's going to be a high turnover. So you're going to be getting them. They're going to be coming in and they're going to be going. You're going to be coming in and they're going to be going. So I might have uh, 15 clients this month, and I might only have 12 the next month. Then we might go up to 17. Then we're going to go back to 9. Then we go up to 22. Then we might go back to, 15. So like this stuff can happen month in and month out, and this can do a huge damage to your cash flow if you're not really paying attention to what you're doing and like making, uh you're making the wrong investments too soon because you feel like you have all this new capital coming in that you can do these different things, and if they're not sustainable on their own, and that client, and it's dependent on these certain clients that you have, even if lifestyle changes, if you buy like a bigger house or move into a different area, and then your client base shrinks again, you're in a jam. Like so, this is so like um, because of that, the turnover in home care makes me want to also invest in assisted livings, and because of two things for assisted livings, the turnover rate is much lower, the residents stay much longer, and it's a higher demand based on the per bed, based on the per bed inventory in any marketplace. Like there's just not enough beds for every senior who needs care, and the majority of times, um, the marketing you have to do, if you did half the marketing that you have to do for your home care to get one client, you'll fill up your house with an assisted living facility. So I hope that's clear to you guys. The amount of marketing that you have to do and effort that you have to put in to get one home care client, you can put that same effort in for an assisted living and fill up the whole property. Because again, the demand is just so much higher, and that's only because just like real estate, they're not making any more of them. And if nobody in the community is converting properties into assisted living facilities or the big uh um REITs, the real estate investment trust, or the bigger corporate senior housing companies aren't coming in building like these 400 bed, 300 bed, 200 bed, 50 bed facilities, then your marketplace is overrun with people who are need beds, and it's just not enough beds. So um that being said, the assisted living facility model is a lot more safe and long term of an investment because on average, they're gonna stay there for 13 months, on an average, on a national average. So then like when you get on more local levels, the averages can go down or they can go up. So they can go down to like the average might be in your marketplace 8 months, or it can go up to 2 years or whatever. So to have someone in assisted living a fully occupied home, and you're getting similar uh, returns on your investment, but it's more stable and it's more consistent. And we just did a podcast previous to this one on assisted living profit breakdowns, and you can kind of see the numbers there. But um, but yeah, don't be discouraged. The true path to real wealth in the senior space is both. That's how I see it, to do both. Because there's no reason to not. I don't feel like people say, "Oh, I just want to focus on assisted living." I don't see why. Why would you focus on assisted living when you can easily add to the model, add home care to the model, and just keep on doing the marketing, tweak it a little bit to the people you already built to got to your to get your home. You already did the marketing, the promotion, and the websites, and the advertisement, and ran the ads, and created the referral network and the referral sources. Use them for now. You could, my house is full. Until I get another house, I'm gonna keep getting these clients, and we're just gonna send out caregivers, and do home care and send them to their homes, and then while we're working on our next home. So I feel like that's the true path, the golden path to success in the senior space, based on my experience and my knowledge and my understanding up until this point, is both. So just a quick recap. The total monthly net income for all three clients, if you're looking at this particular breakdown, is $3,500 a month. That's to your agency. That's net after your agency um, pays everyone out. Annualized on a yearly basis, that's $41,760 a year, and that's just three clients. So you gotta think about that. When you look at these bigger agencies, they have 30 clients. So you just add a zero. You know what I mean? Then you have other agencies who may have 300 clients. So add another zero. Just on average. So just think about that. You get started, you get serious about this business, and start building your company and really get out into the community. It's not hard to get three clients, and if you can get three, you can get three more. And yeah, I'm very confident, and then anybody who has any seriousness and passion and experience and networking people that they know in their community can get three clients. And to make this, make not as extremely passive, not all the way passive, but pretty passively. Once you create the system and put everybody in place, that this can be happening on an ongoing basis, and you can kind of you can better control your income, your wealth creation, and start thinking about legacy and what you're going to leave your family and stuff like that. Or just improving your current lifestyle, because a lot of times we start our business just to increase our current situation, and put ourselves in a better situation, our kids in better schools, and things of that nature. So um yeah, so that was it. Home care profit breakdown. Very conservative. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us on all our social media platforms. um Check out some of the stuff that we're doing on AlanChaney.com, on our website. We go live pretty often on our Alan Chaney Home Care Business Coaching Facebook business page. We're always posting great content on our Instagram page, so check us out there as well. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And thanks for tuning in. Peace.